Well, that's one way to kill a cockroach.
Nobody gets eliminated quietly in Total Drama. This show always has to make a whole event out of it. There's always this one last humiliation before they're gone. And when that happens to the right person, it's glorious. So we went through the elimination episodes and found the contestants whose exits felt the most earned. And as satisfying as all of these eliminations are, there's one on this list that is just a completely different level. Oh God. Starting with Joe. Joe was the first character that was introduced in the 4th season of the Total Drama series, The Revenge of the Island. She started off as this cool, unapologetic tomboy who had great rivalry with Brick because of their militant interests, until she decides to become a backstabbing arsehole like the rest of the characters that we'll be talking about in this video.
I'll carry them to victory. Just being nice so that aptly named clump of cadet meat will be loyal. But when the time comes... Ow! Splinter! You little...
Well, let's see what Joe has done. She called Brick a deadweight, called Cameron expendable, claimed Zoe left their team when she went missing, formed an alliance with Lightning to vote Brick off the series, just to betray Lightning after, and...
Welcome to my team!
That. We think it's pretty safe to say that Joe's a prick and she deserved an elimination quick. Now, don't get us wrong. Joe is a pretty good character when you consider her strengths. Great team spirit, always willing to sacrifice for the team, using the members' weaknesses to win every challenge, very competitive and good at making plans on the spot. But she still sucks, because just as she's always willing to sacrifice for the team, she also sacrificed the team. How do you build all of these good points brick by brick and then betray every single member and vote them off the team?
What's with all the scaffolding? I'm turning Boney Island into my personal resort. The health department said it was unfit for human life, but I sent in workers anyway.
Nice. Now for that shark. Nice knowing ya, shark bait. Driver's ed, don't fail me now.
In the 10th episode of Revenge of the Island, Joe decides to form an alliance with Cameron after destroying her alliance with Lightning. She finally accepted she needed some brains for these challenges. But little did she know, while she was using Cameron as a builder bot, Cameron was planning her downfall.
Crash this!
I've spent enough time with Joe to know she'll take everything she can. So I planted a small explosive in my smoke machine just in case.
Nicely done, Cam. And right after, she gets what we've all been waiting for, her elimination.
You traitor! You backstabber! Ah!
I learned from the best.
You know, you're right. Good technique, kid. But you're an idiot. You couldn't even tell I was a girl.
You're what?
You know, Joe's right. Lightning is astronomically stupid, because why did it take her telling him she's a girl for him to figure it out? He really is a dumbass. After that dumb gender reveal, Joe walks to the hurl of shame, and the only thing she had to say before leaving was,
Any final words to your fellow competitors?
In your face, Lightning!
Joe's elimination was pretty two-faced, and just like her, she got backstabbed, betrayed, and two-timed by the person that she thought was the weakest link in the group, when throughout the episode, she was the weakest link. Joe leaving the show was satisfying, something that needed to be done sooner, but her elimination, it was pretty weak. Not much to show for it really, but the next elimination was much better because this guy is the embodiment of rage bait. Who is the one Total Drama character that comes to mind when you think of rage bait? To us, that's Max, that villain wannabe who tortured Scarlet until she went rogue and got herself voted off. The guy who kept taking credit for everything Scarlet does and calling her his sidekick. Or the idiot who is obsessed with being the most diabolical mind that Total Drama Island has ever seen.
Step aside, sidekick. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. No. How about 3, 2, 1?
Yes, that Max. Max, or Maximilian, was an antisocial, villain-obsessed nitwit that was introduced in the Pacateo Island series. He did nothing whatsoever to improve the chances of winning for his team, and not especially for his claimed sidekick Scarlet. He made sure to make her life a living hell.
You disgusting! Sidekick, clean my bed at once. Where is that lazy fool? Sidekick!
I need him gone.
Chris saw this undeniable chemistry between them and made sure to lock them as a duo in every single episode until they left. Remember how we said that Scarlett went rogue? Yeah, guess who the cause of that was? In the 9th episode of Pacateo Island, as Scarlett and Max are trying to win one of Chris's crazy challenges, again, Max starts belittling Scarlett's efforts as usual, but this time she snaps.
Nonsense, sidekick, step away.
I am
Not your sidekick! Scarlett?
After Scarlett's crash out and taking over the island plan flopped, she obviously gets kicked off the island. But here's the thing, Max is going with her.
No, please! Don't send me away with him! Anyone but me!
Max wasn't even evil. He just needed to leave because of how stupid and annoying he was. And Chris did us a favour by throwing him out. Normally, Chris likes his characters that do nothing but throw everyone off their game and lose score points because they add to the plot. But he couldn't even do that. The real evil mastermind who was actually a genius was Scarlett, because no one knew she was going to take over the island or even hack the controls in the first place. That's why we feel he was elimination worthy, because he was enjoying too much and just had to go so we can enjoy the rest of the show for once. Now, Max's elimination was satisfying, but not in the way you were expecting, right? Let's introduce someone who needed to leave the show and left in the most total drama way possible. From stealing immunities to crafting and switching fake Chris statues, and finally, obviously betraying his teammates, Scott's eliminations was a long time coming, and it was Zoe who really set it off.
Sorry, pal. Better luck next life.
Yikes, he really messed up. Scott was another self-centered, manipulative character who was fond of getting people to like him and then hate him instantly. He'd get you all comfy with him and then throw you under the bus once he's done with you.
Oh, don't blame yourself. It'll all work out in the end. You'll see.
In the 11th episode of Revenge of the Island, Scott decided to form an alliance with Zoe to vote Lightning off. What's up with these people and voting Lightning off?
Wow, that sure helped make my point. Well, you're...
Zoe refuses because Scott already went for Mike and got him eliminated, which is what made Zoe really hate him. Scott then goes on to turn Cameron against Zoe and Lightning, put poison ivy in Zoe's man-eating salad, and switched Cameron's quiche pie with the atrocity he baked. With Scott winning the food-eating challenge, Zoe decides to bring him down. While Chef was chasing them in the new challenge, Zoe shoots an arrow that sets off one of the island's traps, releasing a boulder which happens to fall on Scott, rolling him down the cliff along with his broken bones. During the elimination round, Zoe reveals she's also voted off Scott, making him the one to leave the island.
Ah, what? You gotta be kidding me!
And if you think the fun's over, just when Scott was allowed to leave on the hurl of shame, Chris decided to bring an old friend with him so they could share the pain of the journey.
Ernie. It's my way of saying thanks for flinging me into a pit of poo.
Chris!
Scott's elimination was truly total drama worthy. Really puts the revenge in Revenge of the Island. It started with a series of fortunate events. First, he was hit with the shock that he was eliminated. Then, the radioactive marshmallow that stings like hell, and finally hurled away with his beloved Sharky. Now, let's not forget that he was literally tortured by this Scott-thirsty shark the whole season. That shark is definitely his karma. Seeing Scott all banged up, paralysed with broken bones, and at some point, a head with a robot body was the most opposite of a gut-wrenching feeling we've ever felt in a long, long time. Nicely done, Total Drama. Nicely done. Now we've seen some of the most satisfying eliminations in TD history, and we all know the most unsatisfying, raging elimination in the cartoon's history. P.S. It rhymes with Kishorna.
Lashana?
No!
7 votes, Lashana. Chris, that was a parrot. It doesn't even know who Lashana is.
Only one Lashana?
9.
Her elimination in the series was so forced. It was the dumbest, most unnecessary elimination ever. It was even dumber than Lindsay's second elimination. If you guys want a video on the most rage-baiting, unsatisfying eliminations in Total Drama, let us know in the comments. And subscribe while you're there. The next character whose elimination was much needed was an overachiever and perfectionist. One who never failed to remind us each episode of a potential lawsuit and being a counsellor in training. This crazy lady, who is most likely bipolar and crashes out when she fails a challenge, is Courtney. Yes, Duncan's girlfriend, or more like the girl who was obsessed with Duncan. But Courtney really would have been a great character if she wasn't trying to control everyone half of the time. She scolded her team for mocking Tyler's fear of chickens, stands up for Harold when Duncan and Jeff were bullying the hell out of him, and was the only one to notice when Izzy and Owen were injured. So you'd think we'd let her off the hook, right? Right? Wrong. Courtney was annoying to the core. She needed to go, and you'll see why in her elimination episode. In the 12th episode of TDI, Courtney's prime and proper princess act started to crack when she snuck into the boathouse to see Duncan right after Chef suspended him. Duncan convinces her to steal food from Chef's fridge, and right after she starts losing it.
Okay, I think you've had enough.
Oh no, just one more. Oh, yeah, that one was a mistake.
It's like a little bit of chaos or a bad deed, and she goes absolutely crazy. She later confesses to Duncan about her newfound obsession, and then goes on to kiss him, right after throwing up everywhere.
Fine. Enjoy a peanut butter-less life.
Thanks. Enjoy prison.
I will.
Then Harold gets mad that Duncan got Courtney and messes up Duncan's vote so that Courtney would get kicked off the island.
Concede! I do not concede!
Oh man, this stinks.
I was your only hope! I was a counselor in training!
And that's how she got eliminated? You know, as much as we wanted her off the show, this wasn't the way I wanted her to go. It felt like they just wanted to get rid of her as soon as possible, but with a low budget, which kind of sucks because they went all out with Scott. And that's why we're going to see her second elimination. In the 24th episode of Total Drama Action, right after Courtney forced her way back in with a lawsuit, Duncan reveals something odd.
Bill, Owen, I spent the night in Courtney's trailer.
Really? What did you two do all night? Come on, come on!
I'll let you know after I read this.
Dude,
Let's play that back real slow.
Bill, Owen, I spent the night in Courtney's trailer.
really? What did you two do all night? Come on, come on!
Down, boy! We talked.
Yeah, they definitely did more than talking, and that explains the eye bags. And Courtney shows us why she's Courtney, because right after their heart-to-heart conversation, she hands him a 32-page letter on everything she finds wrong with him and what he needs to do better, and expects him to memorize it. Wow. Anyways, back to the elimination. Courtney's power trip is way off in this series as she gets more aggressive and rude to everyone in the show because of her unfair elimination, which eventually gets her a fair one this time because everyone was sick of her and voted her off again, despite having countless immunities.
Courtney, since Beth and Duncan both voted for you, it's time for your ride home. Owen, I'll deal with you in a moment.
What? Duncan voted for me?
You can't blame him, that girl is bad for your health. It's kind of funny how on both eliminations she got voted off by Duncan, only this time it wasn't an accident. Now, Enough of Courtney, let's talk about one character who disgusted the living soul out of us with how fake and manipulative he was. Introducing the Spanish-speaking playboy with the ugliest goatee known to man, Alejandro.
Alejandro! Perhaps I can assist?
Wow.
Please, allow me. Wowie!
I like girls.
We're sure he knows Tyler. Alejandro was so bad, Cody had to motivate Heather to stop him, and Heather thought she was a good person.
Don't flatter yourself. So long, señorita loser!
Come on, Heather! Are you just gonna let him win $1 million?
Hurry! There's no time to lose.
He trapped Heather, flirts with her, and then leaves her to die. Like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. But what makes this whole scene even more stupid is what Alejandro does next. Just when he was about to win the $1 million in the final episode, he did something so stupid that it actually got him eliminated, or at least kicked out somewhere. He listened to Heather.
I worked so hard, and now you're just gonna take the mill and vanish from my life.
What are you more upset about losing? The million or me?
I would never fall for a jerk like you.
Then why are you blushing?
Hello?
We don't know. Maybe it's $1 million you're about to win, and it's genuinely ridiculous how Heather always pulls the crying white girl move. And it works every time. And he does something even more stupid that was really a lot to see. There's no other way to put it. So it's best to see it for yourself.
You have stolen my heart.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
And the most disgusting elimination goes to Alejandro. That kiss was absolutely mortifying to watch. Never again. Never again.
A little something called victory.
Or, well, maybe. Yes, thank you, Heather. We hate you, but thank you. That was a much-needed comic relief. Our eyes couldn't take that anymore. And to tell you how happy the cast were, they even clapped for Heather.
Nice! It's about time somebody took La Cucaracha down.
Nice one, Duncan, but that was racist. You could get cancelled for that in today's world. Anyways, Alejandro's elimination happened in the most unexpected way we could ever imagine. He, of all people, fell in love, initiated a kiss, got kicked in the balls, and straight up eliminated. Let's remind you a bit. La Cucaracha over here, the OG manipulator, the king of making people fall for him, got manipulated. Well, it's Heather, so that one checks out.
Is way better.
That doesn't help us forget the fact that you have feelings for Alejandro and have been in love with him this whole time. You know, peak Heather would have said, boys, we're okay. But that shows you how much Heather we've lost in the World Tour season. Alejandro may have been the one to suffer the worst elimination in total drama history, because this isn't where it ends. Now guess the plot twist. He wasn't even eliminated in the first place. He just got hurt so badly that he couldn't compete anymore. And the rest of the show forgot about him. I mean, it's more like they put him in a drama machine, but, you know, still.
$1 million. Is it safe?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this was the best elimination in total drama. It was much needed. The character was evil, and they actually gave him a lot of torture and humiliation. He comes in first when it comes to following the total drama prompt, and Alejandro would have been the worst contestant on total drama if not for Heather. Now Heather's gone soft, but we all know that prime Heather would easily outrank him in being a legitimate horrible person, and she kinda took that role back when she kicked him in the balls. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, lovers of cartoon karma and haters of Heather, we introduce to you the most badly needed elimination ceremony in the total drama series. Heather's. After licking Owen's armpit, eating grapes from his belly button, and a lot of other embarrassing and disgusting dares in TDI's 25th episode, Heather finally left the series by refusing to shave her hair as per Lindsay's request.
Well, that was an unfortunate accident. Looks like Heather's out.
This was the most overdue and supposedly the most satisfying elimination in the Total Drama universe. Supposedly because it wasn't satisfying enough. All she got was a failed attempt of a buzz cut, and the dock of shame? Weak as for Total Drama. This was a little bit underwhelming, especially with what they did to Scott and Alejandro. But we can't deny that Heather's humiliation was a breath of fresh air, and Gwen winning the 100 grand was the most satisfying thing they could ever do for the show. We're sure a lot of you are wondering why we didn't put in characters like Dakota, Duncan, or hell, even Mike. It's pretty simple, honestly. These guys were annoying, and sure, had their evil, betraying, backstabbing moments, but they were so lame. You can't compare their neighborhood bully level of annoyance to these literal show-shattering shitheads. These people literally ruined friendships, relationships, Heather. Hell, they even ruined the whole show. So when it comes to people who deserve to be eliminated, no one gets it better than them. All right, show's over. It's time to wrap things up. See you in the next video, Not Fair Family. Cheerio.